are the best of the next generation of lumberjack sports competitors. Known as the rookie class, they're ready to take on 5 chopping and sawing disciplines, as the challenging springboard chop is included for the first time this year. The stage is big, the pressure is on. Who will prevail and become the Stihl Timbersports U.S. Rookie Champion?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, welcome. We are so ready to get the action started. Stihl Timbersports U.S. Rookie Championships. And right now, let's bring out the man who's going to lead us through all of it. A true, recognized legend in the sport of lumberjack sports, known around the world for his competitive abilities. A living legend. Let's bring him out here. Get out here, Super Dave Jewett.
I gotta be honest, I'm saying the competitors are all nervous back there. I'm more nervous than these competitors, but as Tommy Sanders said, I'm Super Dave Jewett. I competed 25 years in timber sports, the original extreme sport, and I had the honor of calling the tournament today, our second year here in Little Rock, Arkansas. So much happening. A lot happening over the next 2 days. We've got the men's semifinals. We have the men's finals professional. We have the professional women's finals, but today is the rookie finals. They've been qualifying all around the country. The top 8 are here today, and this started in the U.S. It has now exploded around the world. Timber sports are now represented by 27 countries, which means it is being live streamed live today and is being recorded for a future broadcast on CBS and CBS Sports. So I'm going to have a little help. I've got the original man who's been calling timber sports for 33 years, the golden voice of Tommy Sanders, and alongside him, world record holder and former timber sports athlete, Kevin Holtz. Boys.
Thank you so much, David. And Kevin Holtz, we got 8 competitors here today. Very talented young athletes with a mind to move up to the next level of competition. This is an important stop along their journey today.
Absolutely, and great job, Stihl and Stihl Timbersports. Thanks so much for providing this intermediary step, a place for these guys to get a foothold and advance to the next level. Great group of competitors from all over the country. I've got so many guys that I want to watch. Will Chamberlain, he's had a tough go, made it on a wild card this year. We've got Max Lloyd, who's been traveling the country, mainly on the West Coast lately, competing. So great group of competitors, each of them with their own unique skill set. It's going to be a dogfight out there today.
Well, we are primed and ready to go. Why don't we turn it back over to Dave Jewett to introduce those special 8 competitors.
Absolutely, it's going to be a dogfight. There's going to be chopping and sawing. The rookies are going to be doing 3 chopping events, 2 sawing events, and there's so many rules. That's why we've got judges. So let's bring them out. Head judge Rich Hallett and the assistant head judge and former timber sports athlete. He took the bronze medal overall one year, Nathan Waterfield. Let's bring out our 8 top rookie athletes from Wisconsin Dells, Wisconsin, Michael Pacos. And from Taunton, Massachusetts, Will Chamberlain. Big round of applause from Holland, New York, Cole Schlenker. And from West Falls, New York, Andrew O'Connell. From Macedon, New York, give it up for Max Lloyd. From Granby, Connecticut, make some noise for Ben Carlson. Coming all the way from Newburgh, Oregon. Big round of applause for Tristan Van Beek. And our final athlete from Cobleskill, New York, Andrew Fletcher. A.J. Fletcher. And please rise, focus to the Jumbotron for the playing of our national anthem. All right, let's do this. This is the Rookie Championship. These are our rookie athletes, and up on the Jumbotron is the first event, the stock saw. Check it.
MS661CM stock saw is used in Stihl Timbersports as the ultimate test of operator skill. Designed for the toughest jobs in forestry, it produces approximately 7.3 horsepower, has a displacement of 91.1 cc, and weighs 7.4 kilograms. To ensure evenly and fairly matched saws, professional steel technicians prepare and test the saws before each competition. Stock saw. After the starting shot, the contestants have to cut 2 wooden discs, so-called cookies, within a 10-centimeter mark, one downward and one upward. The attempt is only valid when both discs have been cut off completely and within the marks.
Well, the stock saw is our first discipline, and we have, of course, 4 heats with 8 athletes in total here today. Those heats will include Van Beek versus Fletcher, Lloyd versus Carlson, Schlinker, and O'Connell will go at it, and Dave will let you introduce heat number 1.
You hear the saws warming out back there. They're going to be running 2 identical Stihl MS661s. They are dialed in identically. When they are brought out, you'll see the same saws that have been used in the qualifiers, same chain, same motor, same chain speed. And when these athletes choose their saw, they'll be stationed. They'll have to make 2 cuts, a down cut and an up cut. We're looking at 40 centimeters, just under 16 inches. You'll hear me talking metric. Why? Just like I said, the sport has gone worldwide, especially in Europe. It has exploded. So to keep it even, whether it's in the United States, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Czech Republic, France, Germany, we're going with a metric system. So that's keeping it simple. That's why we're going 40 centimeters of the stock saw, down cut and an up cut. Sounds easy. It is difficult. 2 cuts have to be complete. Do not jump the gun. Do not go over the 4-inch line. And here come these MS661s right now. And they are, as we said, dead even stock saws. When they hit the throttle, even the throttle response is exactly the same. So let's get it. Heat number 1 of the stock saw. On stand number 1 to your left will be Mike Pacos. And his opponent on stand number 2, Will Chamberlain.
Kevin, this is close as what they call in motorsports to a spec race. Totally about the skill of the operator. These two saws, as Dave Jewett mentioned, are absolutely equal.
And we've seen over the years the times keep getting tighter
Warm up
and
your
tighter.
saws.
We're working ever closer to that perfect run, maximizing chain capacity, maximizing engine performance, and that really leaves the operator. That's the one variable. How quick can you get to the block? How accurate can you be squaring the saw to the log? How quick can you be on those switches? All those little microseconds add up.
3, 2, 1, go!
And here again, Tommy, look at this. Synchronized saw, Pacos and Chamberlain, both very quick to the block, and it's slight advantage. Oh, trouble for Will Chamberlain. I've talked about this the entire time we're in rehearsals yesterday. This is going to be his event to win or lose. Also, trouble on stand number 1 for Pacos. But Will Chamberlain, we've seen this time and time again. He has the ability, he has all the skill set, but things just derail for him.
Time unofficially for Pacos, a 14.19. We will have that official time for you very, very soon, and both of them. Uh-oh, a DQ is a yellow flag from referee Rich Hallett goes out there.
Let's have Nathan Waterfield come over and confirm that call. Looks like it must be a cut line. They're looking at the bottom of the log.
And he did cut the line and go back to that second cut, but the damage had been done.
All right, gentlemen, your cut was good. DQ for cutting over the line.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Give him a big round of applause. Hey, Mike, give us a quick interview. Mike, tell us what happened in that stock saw on that second cut.
That second cut, I just tried to cut more with the toe of the saw, the end of it, and it just kind of kicked me back a little bit. I bogged it and had to go back down to finish the cut, but didn't DQ, so that's all that matters.
So many things to think about in the hot saw, not cutting over the line, having 2 complete discs. Did you ever expect that was going to happen? That's the first I've seen that.
No, not at all. I false started in the qualifier, so that's all I was focused on, was wait for that go and then send it. But you know, when that happens, you just gotta adapt and finish the cut. So that's what I did, and hopefully it's enough to keep me going.
Standing block coming up next. I'll let you get your act.
You betcha. Thank you.
Well, Michael Pacos, the official time of 15.55 just came out right there, and so he's going to take your top points in heat number 1. Another look, Kevin.
Yeah, so really tough break here for Chamberlain. Watch the bottom of this cut. He's going to like triple clutch this thing. Fans to the outside once, reshoots very quickly there to the inside. That's actually where he cut the line. He pulled back and got lined up and finished that cut. But as soon as you cut over the allotted amount of timber, it doesn't matter if you finish the cut or not. Watch Mike here on this upcut. He kind of double clutches the bottom, and watch the nose of this bar get pushed back into the block. So not a great time. This is, again, rookie division. Nerves are running high. He realizes it here. He can't see the far side of that log. Nerves are running high. A 15-second time is not going to get you on the podium here today.
Well, this, of course, is the event that transpires faster than any other, so that increases the nerves, I would think, for all of these competitors, and they have a very short time and have to make the use of every 1/10 of a second. So once you see it again there, the official time, Michael Pacos, 15.55, and a DQ, of course, for Will Chamberlain.
Well, and fair to point out, too, Pacos is not going to be happy with that time. There's no reason he would ever be happy with that time. However, that's points on the board.
Yep.
It won't be 8 points on the board by the time this all settles out, but it'll be points on the board. And even if it's 1 point on the board, that might get him the spot he needs to advance.
Ready now for heat number 2, and we turn it back over to Dave Jewett.
Heat 2 of the stock saw, Cole Schlenker and Andrew O'Connell. Go Schlenker on your left, stand number 1. And out of West Falls, New York, Andrew O'Connell. As Kevin Connie said, they're chasing that 15-second time. The window is wide open, and they'll get a 15-second warm-up. Each competitor gets a standard 15-second warm-up time.
Warm up your saws. Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
15 seconds of time to beat both competitors smooth into the log. Again, listening to
on
those
the right side of things, but had to restart the saw. I'm not sure. He may have forgotten that you keep the saw running. Good clean cuts from both of these guys. Cole Schlenker, though, is going to pull out the win here. I'm very curious to see how Cole does as we advance through the day. If you recall, last year he had some trouble traveling and didn't get in until about 3:30 in the morning. So better rest. He's here well in advance. I think we're going to see a better run from Cole this year.
A 12:24 for Cole, unofficial time, and 12:66 unofficially for Andrew O'Connell. More in line with the times we were expecting, Kevin.
Yeah, and we've seen these rookie times when these guys really get dialed in, they are nipping at the heels of our professional ranks.
All right, gentlemen. Both cuts are good.
Cole, great job in the stock saw. You were actually behind whether you knew it or not coming off that first disc, but you made a late arrival in that upcut.
Yeah, so I had a little bobble at the bottom, and I knew the wood seemed really soft on my down cut, so as I got in the small wood on top, I just gave it the extra pressure, rip it through the top.
How do you feel this year compared to your rookie season last year?
I feel a lot more relaxed, kind of I know what to expect and feel better about it.
All right, have fun today. Good luck.
Thank you.
Good competitive heat right there. Very close. Another look, Kevin.
Yeah, so we're getting a good look here at Cole's run. He mentioned a little bobble at the bottom. There you see he comes out the end of the log, gets it dialed back in, doesn't let it rattle, does a really nice clean cut up through that block. You hear him mention about the small wood at the top. You hear how consistent these saws are all the way through that cut. You got to remember, at the top of the log, you're only cutting just 2-3 inches of wood down into that full diameter in the middle, and then back down to the bottom. It gets skinny again. So they've got to be continually varying the pressure as they move down through that round disc.
Official time in now for Cole Schlenker, 12.09. He has top points as it stands right now after 2 heats.
Heat 3 of the stock saw Max Lloyd and Ben Carlson. Max Lloyd on stand number 1 out of Macedon, New York. A couple competitors coming out of the Northeast region. From Granby, Connecticut, Ben Carlson. On your right, Ben was here competing in the rookie division last year, given another shot to win the title today.
couple of Northeasterners trying to best the time. Official time on top by Cole Schlinker of 12.09. Lloyd on stand 1 to the left.
Warm up your
Carlson on
side.
stand number 2.
There's plenty of room for parking still. I mean, a 12 flat is a solid time, but we've seen these rookies, they've dropped down in the 11s before. There's plenty of room for parking for both of these guys.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Lloyd, a slight advantage to the top of the block. Carlson, though, right on his heels. Lloyd still ahead of the switch as Carlson tries to reel him in. I don't think he's going to have enough. There it is. Unofficial time for Max Lloyd coming in around 11.48.
Unofficially, what a blistering time for Max Lloyd.
Had some intel come in a little while ago, Tommy. There's a viewing party for Max Lloyd going on at the American Legion back in Macedon. I bet that place went a little nuts after that cut.
Absolutely, with good reason. By far the best cut we have seen so far today.
Nice job, gentlemen. Both cuts are good.
Here's another look at that run from Max Lloyd. Very clean down through the bottom. Nice, consistent thickness. Plenty of real estate in case things got out of hand. Nice, safe cut.
But unofficially in the mid-11s right now, Max. Great cut in the stocks. Tell us what's going through your mind and a little pressure. You got some people back home watching?
Oh yeah, they're back home watching, and I'm super grateful for it. You know, I've ran a chainsaw a lot in my life, Dave, and it's one of my more comfortable events. Yeah.
Tell us what was happening. Did you know you were underneath that 12-second range when you were cutting on that upcut?
Nope, I just did what I normally do, and it came out like it normally does.
All right, smooth and simple. That's fast. You are in the lead unofficially. Look at that 11.31, buddy. You're smoking it. Great job.
All right, thanks, Dave.
Max Lloyd, that time is the official time, an 11.31. And one more look, Kevin.
Yeah, nice and clean. Just a tiny bit of hesitation at the top of that block. You see the saw was a little bit crooked. Got it straightened out. You want to take the shortest distance across this line, and you can see that Max in that cut was running right parallel to that old purple crayon mark. And again, coming back up through, he is 100% perpendicular to the grain. Nice, consistent pressure. There wasn't a whole lot of room or a whole lot more that he could push that saw. If we see any times in the 11s, they're going to be right in that margin, you know, maybe an 11.2, 11.3. It's a great cut.
Again, 11.31, and Max Lloyd, your leader with one heat remaining. And Max, the first athlete, in my limited experience, to use the shades for the protective eyewear. Kind of like that touch.
You know, we talk a lot about the bright lights here on the Stihl Timbersports stage. This is an environment all unto itself. When we go to competitions anywhere else in the country, anywhere else in the world, other than Stihl Timbersports events, you might be on a stage, natural sunlight, daytime, whatever, the smoke, the lights, etc. It's a whole new world up here.
All right, we've just been informed that that is 11.31, a new rookie record as well. So congrats again, Max Lloyd. Well, Dave, we are about ready for that fourth, that ultimate heat here in the stock saw.
Final heat of the stock saw. Tristan Van Beek and Andrew Fletcher. Van Beek to your left on one, and Andrew Fletcher right behind him to the right. AJ Fletcher here with the fastest qualifying time coming into the finals today. So watch this man on your right, AJ Fletcher, master in the stock saw.
Warm up your saws.
A.J. Fletcher on the right, Tristan Van Beek on the left on stand number 1. And top qualifier is A.J. Fletcher. And if that's not enough intimidation, he's also got the mustache going for him. Very, very
yeah, it's a good thing
Athletes ready.
not a crosswind in here today.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
11
Wow,
point
AJ very quick on that start. Hands were off the wood in a flash. Van Beek has to do a lot of catching up here. I think Fletcher might be, wow, there's unofficial time at 11.5 again, which, remember, that's about where Max Lloyd was. That is the unofficial time. That's just a plunger time that we're running here to give some kind of instantaneous feedback. We'll see how the official time comes out. That was a very quick start for A.J. Fletcher.
Well, again, he was our top qualifier.
Cut on stand 1. Tristan Van Beek. Tristan says, hey, I think it's a good cut.
Okay, I believe that's signaling over on stand number 2.
So then right now, Rich Hallett's going to look at what I thought was very close. Does not mean it was a jump gun. If they're very close to the start, they're just going to review it. We're shooting at 120 frames per second, and there are several cameras, including a camera right above the log, so they can make sure all 8 fingers are crossing that line. If those fingers move before go, then unfortunately it is a disqualification. Rich just said, hey, it was fast. Was it too fast? Let me take a quick look on the video review just to make sure to keep it fair. Regardless, so A.J. Fletcher staying so consistent, and that clock was just over 11 seconds, I thought, when that second disc was severed. So we're looking for a lot of things right now, whether that 11.31 has been bested and if we're going to get 2 clean cuts here.
Well, while the judges look at the video, try to figure out if there was a jump gun, let's have a replay.
Yeah, let's look at it also. Boy, very, very quick. I think he was all right, but I'm not the judge. You can also see, though, it could have been quicker. I'm just watching as AJ came off that block. He had the old chain brake slap. Not enough to engage the chain brake.
Okay, after
kind of pulled
reviewing
it
the
back
start,
away.
we determined that both cuts are good.
Okay, there it is. Confirmation from head judge Rich Hallett. AJ does get a time, not a DQ. We got to see how the times sort out once we get our official scores.
AJ's saying, I didn't think I jumped the gun, but it was quick. Tell us what's going through your mind. Unofficially in second place.
Okay. Well, I've really been trying to chase down that 9.86. It's the world record. I've been training really hard for that for the past few weeks. So I was seeing 12s, 11s, and I'm like, well, I don't care about that. I want that 9.86. And if I'm in second, that's great. So I've been training pretty hard. I was pretty happy with that cut. I felt a little bit slow on this, after the start. I felt myself kind of not quite pick up the saw like I like to. Felt like my tip was down a little bit low, so it wasn't a super start, but it felt like two clean cuts.
Thanks, AJ.
Thank you.
All right, discipline number 1. The stock saw is in the books right now, and of course it's going to be with a time of 11.31. Officially, Maxwell Lloyd, our champion in the stock saw.
Well, we kind of lost it off the bottom of the screen there, but I'll show you. That was one of the places where he lost those 0.2 of a second to Max. It was his left hand. When he came down off that log, he slapped the chain brake. It was kind of in his way, on his way to grab that top handle. That may have cost him 0.1 of a second right there. Lost a little bit in the wood as well, and second place instead of a win, but still a great mass of points for A.J. Fletcher.
A.J. Fletcher, Maxwell Lloyd atop in points there, 8 and 7 respectively. So we are done with discipline number 1 in our rookie championship. Discipline number 2. The standing block chop is minutes away.
am Cassidy Shear, and I am from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Personal highlight of my timber sports career was the entire 2019 season.
Thanks, everybody. Woo!
I won my first U.S. championship in only my 3rd year in Stihl Timbersports.
Minnesota, Cassidy Shear.
But here he is. Look at this race between Cassidy Shear and Nate Hodges.
It's a good cut, Cassidy. Good Stihl championship points. This guy's in the race.
Oh, that's a good cut though for Cassidy Shear.
And congratulations, you will be representing the United States at the World Championships, Cassidy Shear. Yo-ho!
And I followed that up with a silver medal at the World Championships in Prague.
Cassidy Shear taking down the silver medal.
The biggest setback of my lumberjack sports career, I guess, would be the current situation right now. I'm at the top of my game, and taken a year off. I haven't maybe been training as much as I should, and will have to work extra hard to get back on top of my game for next year. But my situation is not unique. We're all going through the same thing.
I was going to run the hot saw. Your kids aren't sleeping or anything, are they?
They are already up from the nap, so that'd be perfect time.
Okay.
So my family is involved in lumberjack sports entertainment. We have 3 outdoor theaters in the upper Midwest of the USA where we put on exhibition lumberjack shows. So loss of that and timber sports means a lot more time with family and doing hobbies I enjoy, such as steelhead fishing and mushroom foraging. I would tell the timber sports community and other athletes to keep in mind that this is only one year that we can't get together and compete, and we're a strong community and we love our sport, so keep training, stay positive, and this is a stressful time for everybody, so be nice and kind to people as much as you can.
Event number 2 will be the standing block. Check out the Jumbotron for a better description of what you're about to see.
Standing block chop. At the standing block chop, the felling of a tree with an axe is simulated. A vertically positioned wooden block with a diameter of 30 centimeters has to be cut through both sides. A powerful and precise swing with the axe is the premise of a good result.
AJ Fletcher and Will Chamberlain. AJ Fletcher on your left on stand number 1, Will Chamberlain on number 2. AJ Fletcher just taking a second place.
Kevin, here we go, the first time the axes come out for these rookie hopefuls.
Speaking of hopefuls, though, Will Chamberlain is very glad to get an axe out at this point. He had a really tough go in that stock saw. That has not been a good discipline. He got DQ'd in his qualifier over a stock saw issue. Still made it into the championships as a wild card. They saw enough talent, an abundance of talent, and he's going to have to showcase that now. Of course, he's going against AJ Fletcher, runner-up in the stock saw.
Timber. 3,
Fletcher on stand 1 on the left.
Go!
Chamberlain stand 2 on the right.
Will Chamberlain's got a great-looking swing going there. You see that axe way out behind him, just pounding in hits. Oh, trouble for Chamberlain, though, as he catches a chip. Will Chamberlain is stepping off stage. He went down on the stage. I don't know if he stepped on a chip, but tough go for Will Chamberlain.
Will Chamberlain took a spill on the turn. He's going to be fine. In the meantime, AJ Fletcher is going to be putting down the time to beat. We're going to check that out in just a moment. Take that bucket. We'll wait for the final call by head judge Rich Hallett. But these competitors are using razor sharp axes, and you can see what happened. Will Chamberlain took a spin. He put a beautiful 8-hit front in that log, went around the backside, hit a chip, and it looked like the axe just caught his elbow. From my view, is a clean cut. It'll be fine.
Okay, DQ here, DNF. Your cut was good.
All right, there you go. We got our time to beat right around 22 seconds. AJ Fletcher laying down a fast time at about 1 hit per second. You want to come over here? Of course, you see this happening in timber sports. There's always things going around in the background. You knew Will Chamberlain took a spill. A good friend of yours took a spill behind you. He's going to be fine. In the meantime, you got a good front. Tell us about the pressure of laying down that second place in the stock saw. And I always thought the toughest event is the second one after you have a great event to follow it up with that momentum.
Yeah, I mean, the stock saw didn't go exactly like I wanted. You know, obviously wanted first. So I was kind of reading what I did a little bit too much. Got behind stage and just said, get it out of your mind. And then came into the standing. I got a little bit sloppy on my front, and then I saw Will turn and kind of jumped a little bit. And I came around the back and said, oh, I got a lot of wood. And my back just fell apart. And I heard the axe behind me stop hitting. I'm like, wow, he was fast. And then I turned around and saw the blood. And, you know, I'm going to run back there and make sure he's good. But, yeah, so I'm happy with that cut. So,
yep. Good cut. Way to stay focused. In one of your best events, the single buck, coming up next. Get your handle, get your saw ready.
Yes, sir.
Fletcher on top, but let's take a look at that fall first. Kevin Holtz.
Yeah, here's a look at Will Chamberlain. He's got that upcut in, goes on a bit of a wild ride. I'm not sure who got what or whatever. He got a chip going or whatever, realizes he's injured. Calmly kind of walks off stage and lets the event continue. Here's AJ Fletcher as we watch this opening on this block. He goes 1-1, and then he attacks those corners into a 2-2, kind of shorted himself there in a bit. Has to go back and pick up the wood on the bottom. There's that far wood he was talking about. He said, you know, I realized I had a lot of wood. You see that as you get around to the backside of the block and you're staring into that wall.
And there's your heat winner, AJ Fletcher, and that official time now is 21.95, and AJ coming off a second place in the stock saw, looking good in total points right now, but it's early on in the standing block.
second heat of the standing block, Max Lloyd and Michael Pacos. Maxwell Lloyd on the left, he is our points leader overall right now. Winning the stock saw with that smoking time of 11.31. They're chasing right around 22 seconds to sever this log. A lot of competitors will choose to stay in the front, put a big front on these logs, going around and do quick work in the back.
Max Lloyd, fresh off his win in the stock saw, is going to be on stand number 1 in the second heat.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your
Michael
timber.
Pacos on stand
3,
2.
2, 1, go!
Both these guys got to put in a cleaner front than AJ Fletcher did. Things got a little rowdy for AJ. I like what I'm seeing from here for both of these guys. Mike around to the back. Max Lloyd wisely choosing to stay in the front and get a little more work done. Mike Pacos off a 14:33 showing as an unofficial time.
14 seconds, he's saying, let's go. What a cut by Pacos. Well, we talked about the strategy of competitors staying in the front. From my view here, he did 3/4 of the work in the front of the log. Head judges are saying, hey, look, we put nails in these logs. You can see there's nails along the top. That's to hold the log in place to prevent a slab. That's why they're called slabbing nails. But the judge said, hey, that's good. He did his job. That's going to be a good cut.
All right, gentlemen, both cuts are good.
I got to come over here and look at this. Come on over. Hey, look, I was an intense competitor. I know what you're feeling. You came off and you yelled out, let's go!
You know it. I mean, I was planning on going 8-8, but hit that first up hit in and threw a big slab, and I was like, this is an 8-6, 8-5 log. The wood was there, it was beautiful. I'm just so excited. That was such a good cut.
I had butterflies going off when you put 2 hits up in the backside, and a lot of competitors will say, have at it, meaning let's drive it off, and you had at it, and it came right off.
Yeah, I knew that 8 was deep enough, and I put those 2 up, kind of threw another slab, and I knew I could drive it off. It was loose after I hit 4, so I knew 6 was there. I probably could have had it in 5 if I tried. It was awesome.
Great job, Mike. We're waiting on that time right now.
You betcha. Thank you, guys.
Michael Pacos, what an effort right there. Definitely worth a second look.
Yeah, we're watching this in real time here. Look at him chase these corners. One more up driver. There it is. He reaches the nose of the axe around and clears that far triangle of wood. This is where things really get switched on when he starts driving the back. You see that massive, we call it a pig's ear, sticking out of the top of that block. That is all wood that he just shattered through on the far side of that log. Didn't have to take the extra hits to clear those chips.
Strong, strong effort. Here's your official time, 14.11. Taking over the lead in the standing block chop is Michael Pacos. And just got word of a new rookie record here, just set by Michael Pacos, the time of 14.11 in the standing block chop.
I'd like to point out, not set, smashed.
Yeah.
Tristan Van Beek held that record with an 18.27 that he set last year. So we just shattered that record. What a great run.
Well, let's take a snapshot. Of course, the champion will be determined by his aggregate score. In terms of points over all 5 disciplines right now, Leader in points, our winner in the stock saw Max Lloyd. AJ Fletcher in second place with 13, and Michael Pacos with 10 points. And it goes down from there. Cole Schlinker, Tristan Van Beek, Andrew O'Connell, Ben Carlson, and William Chamberlain looking forward to a turnaround in his fortunes today. The first two events very tough for him.
Third heat of the standing block, Ben Carlson and Andrew O'Connell. Battle of the Northeast coming at you right now. Ben Carlson on the left side. Andrew O'Connell, his opponent, to your right. See both competitors allowed to bring a second axe up here. If an axe hits a knot or scoops or breaks, or they decide it's not cutting, they are allowed to discard their axe and get a backup.
Ben Carlson on stand number 1, Andrew O'Connell on stand number 2, ready for the third heat in the standing block chop. Time to beat a 14.11 by Michael Pacos.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Nice start from Carlson. O'Connell a little bit behind the go, but he is just wading deep into the front side of that log. Look at the slab of wood that just fell off there for Andrew O'Connell. Beautiful view looking down on it. He drives far. There it is. Andrew O'Connell unofficially showing a 14.06. We may have another new national record.
I may have just done that. Unbelievable. An 8-hit front. Last driver blew the log apart, and we can just sit, wait for that official time to come up. The unofficial time stopped at 14.06. Again, 14.1 is the rookie record. And Nathan Waterfield, before the show, he challenged these rookies to bring it, to prove that they were the best, and they are doing it.
All right, gentlemen, both cuts are good.
Having another look at this run here from Andrew O'Connell. That upper hit kind of scooped down a little bit on, but I think part of that was because the block was so soft, it just carried the axe down. The wood got away from it a little bit on the far side, but there you see that huge slab of wood that fell off. He had his slab nails in place, so no disqualification. Good, clean cut. Time's just melting away in this standing block job.
Yeah, you and I could talk up here all day, but we got people around the world that want to know what's going on in your mind. Tell us what happened.
Well, standing block's my favorite event. Front got a little sloppy, but the wood was there, and I just drove it off as fast as I could.
And the first thing you said is, I could have cut that faster.
Oh, yeah, I could have done that 6 and 6 every day of the week.
You train with professional Mark Boquin. Do you think he could have done that?
Oh, no, Mark's not the best standing cutter.
All right, get out of here. We got to wait for your time. What a great cut. Andrew O'Connell, we're waiting to see if that rookie record just fell.
Let's take another look at it as we await that official time.
So things did get a little rowdy there for Andrew O'Connell on the front. You can see that he's pinched in on this block. That last updriver, though, just finally sheds that slab at the top. He gets around to the back. You heard him say, I could have cut that in 6 and 6. All we can do is speculate. You're poking your prod and you're checking this block. You're selecting that axe. You map out the best game plan that you can. But when that go happens and that blade touches that white pine for the first time, your mindset may change in an instant.
Kevin, are you seeing what I'm seeing over here?
Wow.
13-8.
2 heats and 2 consecutive rookie world records in the standing block. Man, oh man, we are on fire here today.
Well, and to be fair, too, and give some credit down the line a little bit, Ben Carlson, his time's a 15.7. That would have also been broken the record at the start of the day,
yep.
But now we're like, oh, it's kind of old news, your third place. So exceptional chopping from our rookies here today.
Take a look at the changes in our overall points right now. It's still Maxwell Lloyd, 13 points on top. Andrew O'Connell moving into second place with 1 point back at 12 and 1 point additional. AJ Fletcher with 11 right now. Ben Carlson and Michael Pacos each with 9. Then it's Schlinker, Van Beek, and we understand that Will Chamberlain, as a result of that fall, that tumble he took in his effort at the standing block, is going to have to be excused from the rest of it today. He's taken himself out of the competition today, and we really hate to see that.
Final heat of standing block rookie record-breaking mayhem. Let's bring them out. Cole Schlenker and Tristan Van Beek. Now Cole Schlenker on your left. He has the fastest standing block time coming into the finals today. Tristan Van Beek lit up the standing last year, winning it here in Little Rock. Keep a very close eye on this fourth and final heat.
Time to beat Andrew O'Connell with a 13.83 new rookie
Athletes
record
ready.
on the left. Cole Schlenker on stand 1. On stand 2, Tristan Van Beek.
Tristan Van Beek, up until about, 15 minutes ago, was the record holder. Cole Schlenker was the #1 qualifier coming into this. A lot of pressure to perform here. About 8.5 seconds on the turn for Van Beek. Schlenker drew a big slab out of the backside of this log, but Van Beek is driving. There it is.
Great times from both of these athletes. Tristan Van Beek came in a little flat. A lot of these athletes that have been breaking these records are coming in with
20
a ton
minutes
of
ago,
slope.
we would have been congratulating Tristan Van Beek for breaking his own record.
Exactly.
The only problem is, like, 3 other people have done it today.
Saying, okay, how could I have done that faster? But his up hits, so much damage. Each one of those up hits, a perfect 45-degree slope.
All right, gentlemen, both cuts are good.
We will await Tristan Van Beek's official time. Again, it looks like it's going to be Andrew O'Connell with the win here with his record-breaking time of 13.83.
Tristan, I know this is the top half of your log. As soon as the log was severed, you started studying the top half, your down hits. Tell us what you were looking at.
Well, basically they're very flat and not good. I knew that, the other 2 competitors put down some really fast times. I had to put some pace on it. Hits just got a little flat, but kept it moving, so.
And what's the disadvantage when you hit flat?
Well, if you hit flat on a up hit that's really nice, then it's not going to clear as much wood. And it's going to shank and not go very deep. You're not going to get very far with it, so. All right.
Thanks very much for your time. Get ready for the single buck.
Thank you, Dave.
Well, here's that run. Get a good look inside the block of Tristan Van Beek. Opens at 1-1. It leaves those big, juicy corners to go after. That just sucks the axe into the block. Front side of the log looked okay. A couple hits got a little bit flat, one there on the near side. It was the back. When you come around the far side of that log, you got to really concentrate on getting your footing set. But at that point, the fuse is blown. You're in full tilt race mode, and things can get a little bit dicey.
Well, again, a time of 15.62 officially for Tristan Van Beek. Andrew O'Connell, your winner, in the record-setting time of 13.83. Michael Pacos got to enjoy his record-breaking performance until it was broken just minutes later with a 14.11 in third place. Ben Carlson, 15.44.
Well, Tommy, I'm just running down the times here. Remember, at the start of this discipline, the national record for our rookie division was 18.27. That means the top 5 competitors in this rookie field each eclipsed that 18.27. Cole with an 18.18 still was faster than last year's standing record. So what a great group of cutting here in the standing block discipline.
All right, we have 2 disciplines down here in our U.S. Rookie Championships. Three more disciplines, including the single buck, underhand, and for the first time ever in our rookie competition, the springboard, the one-board springboard. So we have that to look forward to as well.
Yeah, that's such a critical feature to add to this rookie division. We've talked about it in the college ranks and the rookie ranks. When these guys transition from college or rookie division into the pro division, the 2 stumbling blocks for them to enter the pro division has traditionally been springboard and the open modified hot saw. So this is just one step to kind of ease that transition, to give them a step up and get them working towards the professional ranks.
A look at our overall points. That's what determines our champion here in this rookie competition, and it's Andrew O'Connell on top with 12 points, Max Lloyd with 11 in second. 2 tied at 10 each is Tristan Van Beek and Cole Schlinker. Ben Carlson with 9. Tied with 9, Michael Pacos, AJ Fletcher with 9 points. A 3-way tie at the bottom there. And of course, we had to say goodbye to Will Chamberlain. And that's where our 8 stand at this point.
First heat of the single buck, Michael Pacos and Maxwell Lloyd. Pacos on the left there, pulling out $3,000 worth of saw. Now you're looking at about $6,000 worth of saw on the stage right now. Pacos again coming off that second place record, temporarily owning the rookie record. He's feeling good right now. Right now they're going to get a starter cut put in. That's a 10-inch arc. And each competitor was going to saw a...
Here we go with the single buck chop. Michael Pacos on stand at 1.
46
our points
long.
leader, Max Lloyd, on stand. No, sorry, our former points leader,
40 centimeter long.
Michael Lloyd,
right around 16
on stand number 2. Maxwell Lloyd in second place for points.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
So Pacos looking for redemption from his stock saw run. Lloyd looking for redemption from his standing block run. Great saw speed from Lloyd on stand number 2, but he's got to get the nose of that saw back into the block. He's got a lot of saw there to run. Pacos might reel him in. It is. It's going to be Lloyd staying on top in heat number 1.
About exactly what happened. I know that's a new saw he's running. A lot of times it takes the competitors a few cuts to get used to these saws. These saws have 2 teeth that cut and a raker. The raker cleans the wood, but if you deviate on your angle, those rakers can go from cleaning to diving in to try to cut the wood. The saw will stop dead in his tracks.
Both cuts are good.
And you see both competitors had a wedger there. The wedger will help them through the cut, put a wedge in. And then right when the cut is done, a lot of times the competitors will talk to their wedger and say, hey, what did you see? I'm going to wait on the camera. I'm going to get a camera here to focus. All right, say a little go. We got a camera somewhere else. Tells you had the good speed. You had advantage on speed, not as long of a stroke as Michael did. Tell us what happened, like right when you came off and you talked to your wedger. What were you talking about?
Oh, I was really just telling her to put the saw in the case so it wouldn't poke her, but yeah.
It's only $3,000, so yeah, you have to protect all those teeth, razor cutting teeth that can bend. How'd the cut go in your mind?
Oh, the cut went pretty well for me. You know, single buck is something I struggle with, so I'm very happy with that cut.
All right, great job. Good luck.
Thanks, Dave.
Take a look at that one again. See both competitors, Max Lloyd on the left,
It's actually Mike Pacos on the left there on the near side. Max Lloyd in the background. Pacos getting used to this saw. Every one of these saws cuts slightly different, but a good run from him. Just got to get it settled in. What I want to see from Max Lloyd is more of that nose disappearing into that block. He's got a lot of real estate. Dave Jewett mentioned these saws come with a price tag of about $3,000. I don't know, do the math. That's a lot per inch. And there's a lot of tool hanging out on the far side of that needs to get back into the wood and get engaged. There's a few things he can fix. He knows it, and that time is going to continue to melt away.
Official time is up now at 14.85 for Maxwell Lloyd, 17.59 for Michael Pacos. And that will put Max Lloyd back on top of our overall points as well. Of course, that's a transitory number as we still have 3 more heats to go in the single buckle.
Second heat of the single buck, Ben Carlson. Then chasing that 14.8. A lot of competitors that train around 1 stroke per second. That's a push and a pull. So if he can go just under 14 strokes, he's going to best that 14.8. But again, this has to be a smooth cut. Ben Carlson, I've watched a lot of his training videos. This guy knows how to pull a saw, knows how to pull the entire saw. A lot of competitors short stroke, but they forget there is a belly. The saws are not flat. There is a belly of the saw. Someone about 150 years ago discovered that, but you have to pull the entire length of the saw, and this gentleman, very accomplished. Watch that first stroke.
Ben Carlson going to be running this one by himself. He was scheduled to be in this heat with Will Chamberlain, who was, as a result of his mishap, out of competition for today.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Whole lot of saw on the far side of the log there for Ben Carlson. He draws it back. A tough hang-up, though, as he catches a raker on the near side of the log. But watch this cut. The nose of that saw just disappearing into the block. Doesn't even get a chance to shove it off at the bottom. Finishes on a pole cut. 13.15 showing on the unofficial board. We'll see how that sorts out when we get the final video review in.
But again, very dangerous, trying to pull the entire saw at the top of the log. That is the fastest, but it is risky. You can see, let the nose of the saw dip there in a slight hang.
Nice job. Your cut was good.
I competed in timber sports for 25 years, and Rich Hallett never said nice job to me whenever I won the single buck. Tell us what happened on that first stroke. You pulled the entire saw. Is that risky in a 40-centimeter log on the top of the log?
It's absolutely risky, Dave. I ran that saw because I didn't think I was going to hang it. That's the way it goes.
Quick recovery, and then you just powered through the bottom half of the log.
Yeah, I definitely, that put a fire, and I had to go.
All right, just in the low, 13 seconds unofficially. We'll keep an eye on and let you get ready for the next event.
Thank you, Dave.
Ben Carlson, your heat winner once again.
Well, once we got past the hang-ups there at the top, Ben Carlson, as he said, he got the heat on. Watch the nose of that saw disappear into the block. He was getting reared back, ready to shove off the bottom of the block there, but he didn't need it. Finishes it on a pole stroke, kind of an awkward position, but after that recovery at the top, he's got to recoup and get whatever he can out of this cut. 13-second run is a good recovery.
Yeah, that's official at 13.01. So on top right now, Ben Carlson.
Third heat of the single buck, Tristan Van Beek and Andrew O'Connell. And we just saw O'Connell on the right here. You just saw him break that rookie record in the standing block, looking to keep that momentum going into the single buck. O'Connell right now, he's getting a little aid from Mark Beauquin. Oh, by the way, Mark Beauquin, the fastest single bucker in the country. Today, we'll see what happens in the professional division coming up this afternoon. If Mark Beauquin can continue that trend.
Going to be Tristan Van Beek right there on stand number 1. Stand number 2 on the right, Andrew O'Connell, fresh from his record-setting performance, record-breaking performance.
Athletes ready.
In the standing block.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Both of these guys getting some help from some of our pros, Adam LaSalle and Mark Beauquin on stand number 2 there. O'Connell getting a lot of coaching for Beauquin over the past year or two, but it's I was going to say it's Van Beek that's going to pull ahead, but with a couple of hangouts, O'Connell pulls ahead. Got an interesting situation, Tommy, on stand number 2. You have to cut the complete log. Sometimes, occasionally, you'll see a piece break away. It becomes uncuttable material. It's a splinter or a chip that falls to the stage. You saw how quickly Andrew O'Connell was pointing that out to our judge.
All right, gentlemen, both cuts are good.
Yeah, tell us about that hang up. I know the disc broke and you immediately saw the piece of wood land on the ground saying, hey, look, Judge, technically I cut that.
Yeah, no, I just want to make sure we didn't lose in the wood chips and make sure it's a good cut. Hate to go on a DQ.
It happens so fast when you hang. Do you know exactly what you did wrong in that moment?
Oh, I probably lifted. I'm a big lifter.
And what happens when you lift? What happens?
Oh, right into a raker. Fuck, just stop that saw.
All right, thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you.
Take another look at Andrew O'Connell's effort there. And Tristan.
Yeah, and Tristan, we'll start with Tristan Van Beek here on stand number 1. I had him pegged. It looked like he was running away with this. But watch as he gets past the widest section of this log and gets into the small timber at the bottom. There you see him lift up. You heard Andrew O'Connell talk about that. And unfortunately, Tristan demonstrates. You see in the background, though, right there is where that piece ripped off. And Andrew O'Connell, very quick to point out to the judge, it's there. It's a legal cut. There's a great look at the bottom of this run from Andrew O'Connell, lifting up a little bit at the bottom. He's not quite running it. You see the handle comes in and hits that cookie, which actually caused that fracture on the pole cut. When he returns the saw, it ripped that piece off. That's an uncuttable piece that's he did everything he could.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, both of our competitors there in that heat had some bumps in the road to contend with, but the time is official now for Andrew O'Connell. He wins the heat, Andrew O'Connell, with a 14.86, still your leader. Ben Carlson, 13.01.
Final heat of the rookie single buck, Cole Schlenker and A.J. Fletcher. Schlenker on your left, A.J. Fletcher had that great stock saw run earlier. I do believe A.J. has the fastest single buck time coming into the finals today.
give you a little insight into the preparation that goes on in this single buck event. All these competitors get a measured starting arc by our judges. They're setting these saws into the top of the block, and you see Cole on stand number 1. He's actually counting teeth, counting rakers. He wants to make sure that saw starts in the exact same spot. From some of the camera angles too, you'll actually see, and there's AJ on stand number 2. AJ's got the tape measure out, making sure he gets all of his foot placement correct.
Athletes
this
ready.
should feel exactly like a training cut in the backyard.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Of course, training cut plus lights, camera, action, and rock music. These guys are both putting up really solid cuts here. AJ and Cole both have a little bit of material at the nose. Cole saw running exceptionally well. There's a hang up the bottom. That is going to open the door for AJ coming in around a 14.9. AJ Fletcher is going to take that heat on stand number 2.
Cole, right there. Cole, I believe, was taking the lead and a slight hang at the bottom. Saying, is that a complete diss? That's going to be a 2 legal diss right there. But AJ Fletcher, you saw him right at the beginning of the cut. He was measuring his front foot. The competitors are allowed 1 minute to set up, and he cutting it real close there.
Nice job, gentlemen. Both cuts are good.
Boy, Cole, I called it. You were actually taking the lead in the second half of that log and then a slight hang at the bottom.
Yeah, got into the smaller wood there and I was doing good. Just, I think, relaxed a little too much there and hung up.
Yeah, sometimes you relax and the nose of the saw dips. How difficult is that to control 15 pounds of saw when the nose dips over?
For me, pretty hard. I'm not a very good single buck sawyer, but that's all right. You know, one hang up is okay for now, I guess. Just looking forward to the next event.
Right, underhand chop, good luck.
Thank you.
Let's have another look at the effort by these two in the final heat of the single buck. Schlinker and Fletcher. And the times are official. 14:71 for Andrew Fletcher and 16:48 the official time for Cole Schlinker. Now we get the replay.
Here's a look at stand number 2, AJ Fletcher. Good, consistent run. Again, though, there's some material hanging out the front side of that log, and there's a little bit left between the handle and the block. He's going to get that sorted out, get stretched out. Look at the noodles. These saws don't make sawdust or chips. They are finely tuned racing machines, and they make a very specific type of wood waste product. We call them noodles.
Well, we are 3 disciplines into our 5-discipline competition here now, completing with the single buck, and we have, we got a race here. 17 points apiece for Ben Carlson, Andrew O'Connell, and Max Lloyd. Those 3 tied at the top in overall points. 1 point back is Andrew Fletcher, AJ Fletcher, Tristan Van Beek with 14, Cole Schlinker with 13, and Mike Pecos with 11 points right there. So 3, they're running 3 across at the top. Again, we have plenty more action coming up today for you. Stihl Timbersports U.S. Rookie Championship is underway. And our guys are doing everything they can to learn more about how to win. The underhand chop is on the way. We will be right back.
Let's roll, let's go.
When we work in harmony, anything is possible.
big league performance in your backyard with battery power made by Stihl. Our AK home motor system starts at just $199.99. Not sold at Lowe's or the Home Depot. Find yours at over 10,000 local Stihl dealers.
Stihl, the name you love and trust, is at acehardware.com. From chainsaws to edgers, trimmers to blowers, Ace has the Stihl equipment you need. Just pick your power. From gas to battery, Stihl has you covered at acehardware.com.
Duluth Trading Company was born from generations who showed us that the only way to live life is to live it hands-on.
To do it the hard way. To take the trail untrodden. To take the damn thing apart, put it back together, and have the world be better for it.
We don't think that the go all in, dig deep, and get your hands dirty spirit exists in everybody.
We know it does. Duluth Trading. Take on life with your own two hands.
Our second shot of the day. Check out the Jumbotron for a description of the underhand chop.
The axes used in timber sports definitely can't be bought at your local hardware store. Made from special steel, the blade is hand sanded with an angle of 13 to 16 degrees. It's custom built and carefully adjusted for each competition. The weight is around 3 kilos and it's about 80 centimeters long. The blade is so sharp that you could shave with it. Underhand chop. In the past, the underhand chop technique was used to split logs. Standing on a horizontally anchored block, the athletes cut through a 32 centimeter log. The block has to be worked from both sides.
First heat of the underhand, Tristan Van Beek and AJ Fletcher. AJ Fletcher, you just saw him in the single buck. He's on our right there. Just catching his breath from the single buck, and we're bringing him right back out in the underhand.
Heat number one of the underhand on stand number one with the fabulous footwear, Tristan Van Beek going up against AJ Fletcher on stand number two.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
AJ Fletcher 1 point out of that traffic jam. 16 points in his pocket, 17 points for the top 3 competitors. He knows he's got a few chances left to grab points. Van Beek with a great looking back as he turns and just lays a huge slab of wood on the top of that block. AJ Fletcher pinching in the bottom a little bit. You see that cut stepping in. Van Beek, one more driving blow. He's off. Fletcher did a solid job, though. Reeled him in. I thought he was in trouble the way the backside of that log was starting to narrow up on him. That may have been intentional. If he knew he had a big front, if he knew he had a soft log, he may have stepped that block in, trying to conserve some energy and get through it a little faster.
Nice job, gentlemen. Both cuts are good.
All right, let's do it. We got to do an interview here. Great cut in the underhand. How did you feel? I know you work with a lot of the professionals in Pigeon Forge. Tell us what was going through your mind.
Well, basically been cutting a lot of underhands, been feeling pretty good. Working with Matt Slingerland, Adam Lethko a lot, very helpful teachers. But this wood is so soft. I'm not used to it. It's kind of scrambled my brain a little bit, but happy with the cut. You know, a couple re-hits, a couple miss-hits, stuff that's gonna keep me up at night, but it's whatever. Yeah, happy overall.
You got another event springboard. Now that you know how soft the wood is, you can attack that.
Absolutely, I'll do my darndest.
You won it last year, so good luck.
Thank you, Dave. I'll try my best.
Tristan Van Beek, the time official 25.36 as we take another look at his effort.
Yeah, you hear Tristan talking about the timber being really soft. You'd think that'd be a great thing, but sometimes it's almost a shock to the system. You've got a plan, you're going to put 10 hits in the front of this block, and all of a sudden you find yourself weighted way deeper than you thought you'd ever be. Look at the back of this log blow apart for Tristan. He's going to clear out he skips that one top hit, goes right to the bottom because he knows he's so much farther ahead, goes straight into a driving pattern, maybe a little premature. There you see he's got to go back and pick up that one hit. It could have been the shoes, it could have been the axe.
Had to be part of it.
But yeah, all one big picture really for Tristan Van Beek.
Again, that time official at 25.36. He's your early leader in the underhand.
Second heat of the underhand, Ben Carlson, and our standing block record holder, Andrew O'Connell. Andrew O'Connell on the right here, just shocking the rookie world with that 13.8 second standing block.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
So many overall.
Two of our three leaders to start this underhand chop competition here. Ben Carlson on the left, Andrew O'Connell on the right.
O'Connell just peppering the front side of that block with hits. He stays the course just a little bit longer. Look at Carlson's block just crumbling, splitting, slabbing. He's a little bit offset. He's dogleg. That's going to be trouble. There it is. Andrew O'Connell is going to take it. Great camera angle to show a horrible situation for Ben Carlson. Ben Carlson wound up what we call dogleg. You're offset on that underhand block. Instead of hitting into fresh air or swinging into fresh air from the backside of the block into that front open scarf, he wound up driving into the stump, and you could just see it just splitting apart underneath his feet.
Not happy to like that back cut over again.
All right, gentlemen, both cuts are good.
Well, Andy, you just brought the speed and you stayed in the front. Did you know that Ben had turned ahead of you?
I mean, I've done shows for a while, so you take those cues to either speed up or slow down if you need to throw a point here or there. So I knew, so I just tried to drive as much wood as I could on the bottom. It worked out.
You broke the standing block rookie record. How did you come down from that high to focus on this underhand?
I just don't look at the TVs. You don't know.
Thanks for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Still waiting on that official time from Andrew O'Connell. We do know that he is unofficially our overall points leader right now, having been tied for the lead coming into.
We're going to look down the line here. There's Andrew O'Connell driving through, and you can see the struggles for Ben Carlson at the far side of things.
We got it official now, 21.29 for Andrew O'Connell. Stands on top as we are halfway through our underhand chop right there. That will make him your, at least for now, points leader, overall points leader, Stihl points leader as well.
Well, Tommy, what I love about these guys, too, you see a little bit of a grimace from Andrew O'Connell as he turned around to look at his unofficial time. That 21-second time is just a couple seconds off of the U.S. record, and he just broke a U.S. record in the standing block chop. The field of competitors, I don't care if it's the rookies, women, men, any level, we all want that next level. If we cut it in 20, we're trying to figure out how to cut it in 19. If we cut it in 19, we're trying to get it to 18.5.
So no matter the circumstances, if you don't best your previous time, it's a setback. You view it as a setback.
Absolutely. And even if you do best your best time, you think you could have bested your best time more than you bested it.
Stay hungry, I guess, is the underlying theme.
Third heat of the underhand from Macedon, New York, Max Lloyd.
Max Lloyd will be chopping solo this time around. Another one of the three who were tied for our overall points lead coming into the underhand. Certainly got a chance to regain that top spot right now.
Athlete ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Let's cheer him on. He's going all on his own here, ladies and gentlemen.
On Max Lloyd on stand number 2. He was supposed to be up against Will Chamberlain, who is out with an injury. Lloyd looking like a very clean cut. I love the size of those chips that I see coming out. Doing his job in the front side of the log. He's around to the back. Got a little bit low on his off-drive side, his chip side. He's got to stay clean. He's got to preserve that slope. A few wild hits spraying in there. He's looking to drive, but I think he's got a lot of wood there. He's got to go back and pick up that chip. Still continuing to drive there. He finds it. One punch in the guts. He is not going to be happy with that time.
Went around fast, but you're just looking at a ton of wood that he drove. A few miships can just add up.
Nice job. Your cut was good.
You have more fans than anyone here, either back home watching the live stream or in the stands telling you to breathe. How did that cut go?
Oh, the wood was a little firmer than the standing block. I wasn't expecting that, but, you know, I did what I could do, and it wasn't too bad for me, honestly. Yep.
All right, good job.
Thanks, Dave.
Take a look at Max Lloyd's effort again.
Yeah, great swing speed, great power in the front side of this log. Just didn't quite get the job done. And as he mentioned, wood a little bit firmer than he thought, and he was kind of going at it like it was the standing block wood. As he works his way around to the backside of this log, he ends up getting, he has to step in a little bit, and he goes into a driving routine like he's going to break or he wants to break a ton of wood, and it just wasn't there. It didn't happen for him. It finally went at the end. He punched it in the guts one last time and just finally gets that wood to break, but not one of those really easy to bust apart logs. You can see a lot of wood there at the bottom, a lot of fibers. He's got to reach down and get that material out of there.
Well, it added up to a time, as you say, that he's not very happy with, probably. Max Lloyd with a 31.70, 31.70 officially puts him in 5th place.
Final heat of the rookie underhand, Cole Schlenker and Michael Pacos. Mike Pacos on the right has the fastest rookie underhand time coming into the finals today. Keep a close eye on Pacos on the right. He broke the standing block rookie record. Going to be looking to take this back in the underhand.
Cole Schlenker, stand 1 on the left there. Stand number 2, Mike Pacos, part of our
timber.
record-breaking
3, 2,
story
1,
we've got
go.
working here today. He enjoyed a world record or a rookie record for a while.
Paco was right there on the go. Looked clean, but he was tight, and that's what these guys have to do. They've got to find every millisecond they can. A bit of a stick for Pacos, also on the front. Schlenker is able to kind of reel him in. Oh, Pacos, once again, a carbon copy of his standing block. Finds that angle, finds that slope, and breaks a tremendous amount of wood.
18 seconds and going into the 18th unofficially of 18.99 on the board. Again, they're going to look at those official times. We'll get that time for you moment in very, very close, but Pacos thinks he's won it.
Nice job, gentlemen. Both cuts are good.
You broke the rookie record in the standing block temporarily.
Yeah, temporarily.
It was taken from you. You just came back with some redemption in the underhand. Unofficially, you're going to win it, possibly under 19 seconds.
Yeah, I'm feeling good. That's my favorite event. The log was a little firmer, but I mean, you just keep cutting. I talked to Matt Slingerland before this chop, and he said go 10 and turn and just chop the log. Just chop it, do your rotation until it comes off.
Each axe is about $650. You have a box of axes. Did you use the same axe in the underhand that you did in the standing?
Yes, I did. It's actually one Matt Slingerland sold me, and I'm very grateful because it's a ripper.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Eagerly anticipating that official time for Mike Pacos. As we do that, let's look at this again.
Well, you heard that advice from Matt Slingerland. You know, put the 10 in the front, get that clean job done. Don't mess around. Don't try to put any extra hits in. Get around to the back. There you see a nice clean turn. Puts 2 hits in on the driver's side, goes into the rotational pattern, and this is where it turns into a questioning match is, when do I try to drive it off? We saw Max Lloyd try a little bit too early in his particular heat of the underhand. In this case, timing was just right. We want to just point out here, too, Pacos had a temporary standing block record that was taken away from him. He just, I believe, and this is all going to hold up the previous record, 19.3 in the underhand. We're showing Mike Pacos at an 18.74 in that round of the underhand.
And that is official. You're having a good day when you set a U.S. rookie record twice in the course of one competition. Oh man, have we seen some performances here today, and we're not done yet. 5 disciplines, the last one's coming up, the springboard, one board, springboard jump. We'll be right back.
Stihl, the name you love and trust, is at acehardware.com. From chainsaws to edgers, trimmers to blowers, Ace has the Stihl equipment you need. Just pick your power. From gas to battery, Stihl has you covered at acehardware.com.
Duluth Trading Company was born from generations who showed us that the only way to live life is to live it hands-on.
To do it the hard way. To take the trail untrodden. To take the damn thing apart, put it back together, and have the world be better for it.
We don't think that the go all in, dig deep, and get your hands dirty spirit exists in everybody.
We know it does. Duluth Trading. Take on life with your own 2 hands.
Just 3 words tell you everything you need to know. They tell you why we employ more than 2,000 workers at our factory in Virginia Beach, and why over 10,000 local Stihl dealers are putting battery power in the hands of Americans. Not everyone can say that, but we can. Made in America. Real Stihl. Find yours.
Let's roll, let's go.
When we work in harmony, anything is possible.
Tommy, they have an 18-inch log. They have 4 inches to make 2 cuts, 1 down and 1 up. Hands on the log, saw, sitting on the ground.
1985 marked the start of the Stihl Timbersports series in the USA. The setup initially needed to find its feet. The first media presence in Wisconsin in the USA saw the level of the athletes rise a notch. And the series produced the first greats of the sport, such as Arden Koga Jr.
That's the best down block I've cut all year. Melvin's beat me at every show this year except one, and today.
Well, do you have some momentum going to Florida?
I think I'm starting to come right. I think I'm finally starting to come right.
Through its collaboration with the US sports channel ESPN, Stihl Timbersports has established itself as a sports series and produced some true legends of logger sports.
He's perfectionist. His effectiveness was always because he knew what he was doing.
He would look like he was asleep. He had this gift of lowering his blood pressure.
David Bolstead's my name, and I'm from the North Island of New Zealand.
He was probably the best relay cutter I ever had the pleasure of competing with.
All 6 events is absolutely incredible. Will we ever see somebody do that ever again? I highly doubt it.
They started calling him the professor.
Mainly, this guy is a professor.
After Matt Bush and the New Zealand professor, another icon of the sport stood out, the New Zealander, Jason Wynyard.
Jason Wynyard.
Jason Wynyard.
Jason Wynyard.
Jason Wynyard.
Jason Wynyard is Mr. Timbersports.
Mr. Timbersports, Jason Wynyard has dominated the international competition since 2009.
It's great to beat Jason in 2013 and to come out at Stuttgart that year, and it's a dream come true and probably, you know, the highlight of my career.
Who's it going to be, Wynyard or DeLosa? It's DeLosa getting through. Wow, best time for DeLosa. 8.25 is definitely fast enough.
I was very pleased with some of the wins that I had along the way. Yeah, it's been a long road coming back.
But Jason Wynyard came back stronger.
The defending world champ DeLosa up against the 5-time world champ Wynyard. Wynyard just hammering away at it. He gets it in 14.77. What a win for Wynyard here.
The very next year, he regained his world championship title, and so began a new series of successes.
He's always been a gracious winner. Like, you know, he's never, you know, tell you how good he is. He's showed you how good he is. It's always, don't tell me, show me. And he showed everyone how good he is by winning Timbersports 9 times, you know.
Shortly before his 10th individual world championship title in 2018 in Liverpool, it was once again an Australian who upset his ambitions. This time, it was Lawrence O'Toole.
11.75, a personal best for Lawrence and your new current leader.
Great time by Lawrence O'Toole with a 39.85. Oh, he's got it! He's got it! 5.87. Lawrence O'Toole. We have a new world champion, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome here in beautiful Prague, Czech Republic.
It was again an Australian who dominated in Prague in 2019.
He's going for the
Braden Myers, aged just 24 at the time, won 4 out of the 6 disciplines to secure the well-deserved title.
3 cuts on the deck.
It made him the youngest Timbersports individual world champion in history.
Braden Myers is your 2019 Stihl Timbersports world champion.
Final event of the rookie division is the springboard. For a better idea of what you're about to see, check out the big screen.
Springboard simulates the traditional way of felling trees, climbing up over thick roots. First, notches known as pockets are chopped into the log. 2 springboards are then anchored into these pockets. The athlete then climbs up to chop through a 27-centimeter thick block of wood in the fastest time possible.
Heat number 1 of the springboard, Max Lloyd and Andrew Fletcher. There you go. It's the final event of the day. Give him a big round of applause. Max Lloyd on your left, AJ Fletcher on the right. They will be going up one board. They've got to cut one pocket, insert the board. The pocket absolutely has to keep that board slightly uphill. The weight of their body plus the flexing of them driving that axe into the wood tends to level the board off. A sloping board, they'll lose power, especially in the legs. And they have to sever this log completely off. Watch the competitors doing 90% of the work on their strong hand, then they'll switch to the back side to sever it off in the back on that awkward backhand.
A much anticipated new discipline that these rookie championship hopefuls are going to encounter today to end their day is the springboard chop. Always, I guess, Kevin, the most daunting, along with the hot saw, of course, for different reasons, of all the disciplines.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Daunting and therefore just a single board for our rookie competitors. Tommy, I'd just like to take a second to brag. Today has gone exactly like I predicted, which was unpredictable. These competitors have been all over the board. We haven't had anybody really rise to the top consistently in every discipline. And look at the points matchup. AJ Fletcher with 20 points, but he's one of 3 guys. Maxwell Lloyd, one of 3 guys with 19 points, and Andrew O'Connell on top with only 23 points. Anyone can be in this game, and because of this somewhat new nature of this single board springboard for these guys, I think we're going to see a huge spread between first and last place. We're going to see a lot of points mix up. Both of these guys now finally with a solid board set. They're wading into that 27-centimeter piece of white pine at the top. Max Lloyd on stand 1, big slabs of wood. AJ's got to get reached around to the far side of that block and also keep that face open. He's starting to get pinched in a bit, and that has me concerned. He's got a lot of timber cut. I'm a much bigger fan of what I see on stand number 1. Lot wider face. Max is deep into that block. He won't have a lot of work when he gets turned around to the backside, doing himself a lot of good here. Here goes Max Lloyd around to the back. He is a slash cutter. He's going to put in all drive flows. He's got to reach around to the far side. There he goes to finish that one ear off. I'm not sure what the ruling is, if he actually needed that. It didn't look like it extended all the way to the top, but he made the smart move and cut it off anyways. Here's all that wood that I was talking about for AJ Fletcher. He's going to break those last few fibers. One into the stump. There it is. He cleans it off. But that's the difference between that cut from Max Lloyd and AJ Fletcher. Max waded much deeper, much wider open front face, made for a lot less work when he turned around to cut off on the backside.
Giving it all they have for the final event of the day.
Nice job, gentlemen. Both cuts are good.
AJ had a little trouble with that first pocket. This is a springboard. A lot of people at home, they don't see this metal clip that you're trying to get to the back of the pocket. What happened?
I think I was just a little bit too shallow. I stuck my board in, felt like a solid 5-hit pocket, and I think I didn't quite have that top angle for my shoot to grab. I split my bottom right out.
How difficult is it, honestly, to control the nerves going into this final event? You've been just battling all day, and now you have to be hitting that pocket with pinpoint accuracy.
Well, extremely. I haven't had quite the showing I wanted, so I wanted to, I've been working hard on springboard too. I wanted to have just a solid cut, and going right with a slab just wasn't the right thing. Then I got on top, my axe didn't love the wood, and well, that's what we got.
Hey, great day. Thanks a lot for your time.
A.J. Fletcher and his rough start
Here's a
there.
look at
Let's
that
look at our leader.
opening pocket for Max Lloyd. Comes up, he steps up that bottom. He's working his way back down. You see 2 extra hits there as he worked his way back to make a nice flat floor. There's some trash in that hole though, and when he sets that board in, he ends up with a wood chip on top of that springboard shoe. The very fine, sharp edge needs to bite right into the top of that hole. Any chips are going to destroy those chances. Let's watch where things went very right for Max Lloyd. Big open face on the front side of that log. First hit kind of bounced out, second hit does as well. Then he gets it settled in. Look at that chip right towards Kerry in the camera there. But that chip sitting up, I'd love to talk to Rich Hallett about whether he actually needed to cut that off, because that's essentially like a slab. It did not carry all the way up to the top of the block.
Well, here we go. Our times are official there. Max Lloyd with a time of 1:26.84 to take the very first heat ever in the Stihl Timbersports U.S. Championships. A.J. Fletcher coming up with 1:43.60. Again, this championship is decided on the basis of cumulative points across your performance across all 5 disciplines. Right now, it's Max Lloyd on top, tied with A.J. Fletcher. As it stands right now, of course, we're just 1 heat into the springboard chop. Andrew O'Connell, record-setting performance today in 3rd place, but he's yet to perform yet in the springboard. Cole Schlinker, Ben Carlson tied for 3rd place, and there's Mike Pacos, also a record-setting performance today. 2 of them, as a matter of fact, in 6th place.
Second heat of the springboard, Andrew O'Connell and Cole Fletcher.
Ready for heat number 2 right now. It's going to be on stand number 1, Andrew O'Connell. Stand number 2, Cole Schlinker. Time to beat a 1:26.84 for Max Lloyd.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Ideally, these guys have been putting in 4-hit pockets, but ideally goes out the window when the go signal goes off. If these guys are doing 6 to 8 hit holes and they're clean, that's going to be a great climb. O'Connell up on his board. I almost said his first board. It is, but it's also his last board as he sets to work on that 27-centimeter diameter piece of white pine at the top. Cole has a great looking first board, maybe a little bit too much upslope, but he's wading deep into that block as well. O'Connell has a tough lead. It's going to be very hard for Cole to reel him in. See Andrew O'Connell, a little bit different technique from some of the competitors. Bit of a roundhouse swing. He actually draws the chip. Whoa, block just breaking apart there from Andrew O'Connell, just smashing through the back of that block, showing a 47-second time. That is on par with record-breaking pace, not quite record-breaking pace. You see Cole there, he drops down with that slash hit low a couple of times. He's trying to draw a chip out. That opens up the window so he can drive off the far side.
Perfect springboard, what we're looking for, but it was the climb that gave Andrew O'Connell the lead, an absolute perfect board set. And then you'll see it on the replay, but that Andrew O'Connell backswing. Most competitors lose power in the backswing. Perhaps O'Connell taking a page out of Cassidy Shear's book. The amount of power he drove that log off. We'll get a quick interview with Andrew O'Connell in a second.
Nice job, gentlemen. Both cuts are good.
Boy, if we had an overall chopper award, I'd have to give it to you. Beautiful board set, beautiful climb. A lot of competitors lose power on the backswing. Just an absolute fearless down hit in the back of that log on the backside.
Oh, yeah, I used to be a switch hitter in baseball, so it's no different.
Tell us what's going through your mind when you knew that board was set, you knew it wasn't going to sag down, you could just go to town, the final event of the day.
Oh, I was a little scared. I blew out a big chip on my first hit, and I was like, oh, I got to go deep. So I gave her a nice 6-hit and climbed it, sagged right perfect, and away I went.
You've taken over the lead in the springboard. You've had a great day. You now own the rookie record in the standing block. What's going through your mind? Professional ranks next year?
Oh, I'd hope so, but we'll see.
Thanks a lot. Great day.
Well, there's a look at O'Connell in the near ground and Cole in the background. Watch this board set. Right to the back of the hole, slams it, doesn't really poke, prod, test it, jumps up. You see it was a little bit too steep in the beginning, but once he applied some weight to it, got his body weight on it, settles right into a beautiful position. Sometimes you'll see these guys get the floor of their pocket a little bit, I like to say listing, like a boat, one way or the other, but a beautiful flat board set. Cole's board set in the back looks great as well. He's a little bit toe up, heel down, but still a really solid board set. Watch the backside here though. Andrew O'Connell, as you heard Dave mentioned, taking kind of a page from Cassidy Shear and that big roundhouse swing as he drives through those last fibers on the backside. Switch hitting, cutting. You heard talking about his baseball days. A great setup to be off-footed on your backside on top of that springboard pole.
Well, what a chopper he has proven to be. His official time now at 46.76. Of course, that takes over the lead in the springboard chop right now with 3 competitors left to go. And in overall points, man, oh man. Andrew O'Connell sitting here with 31, absolutely in the driver's seat as we look to wrap up this U.S. Rookie Championship. There's those full overall points right there. Again, 31 for Andrew O'Connell. Old Schlinker in second place with 27. Max Lloyd and Andrew Fletcher. A.J. Fletcher with 25. 20 for Carlson, 19 Pacos and Van Beek.
Heat number 3 of the springboard, Mike Pacos and Ben Carlson.
Here's heat number 3. Springboard chop, but again, first ever we've had Stihl Timbersports U.S. Rookie Championships, a springboard discipline included in the rotation. It's going to be Mike Pacos on stand number 1, Ben Carlson on stand number 2.
Oh, Tommy, I've been looking at the points over here. It's very interesting how things have played out. I made a joke earlier about me being right at my predictions that this was going to be unpredictable.
Yes.
And you go across the board for both Ben and Mike. one discipline, they're near the bottom of the pile, only picking up 2 points. The next discipline, they're near the top of the pile, picking up 7 points, 6 points, and they've just been kind of up and down. If one of these guys is going to pull away, they have to do it now. They need to have a near-winning springboard time.
Go!
Carson being a little bit slow and deliberate with his pocket. I like what I see, though. There it is. Looks like a good board set. Deep board set. Trouble, though, for Pacos. I want to see how this board set turns out for him. It actually looks really good now. Yeah, it's going to settle in. It's going to settle in. So Carlson a little bit settling more than I would expect. He looked like he had a beautiful board set. That's the great thing about the spring, or a horrible thing maybe about springboard event, is you just can't really tell until you get some weight back on that springboard. Carson around the back, also a switch hitting cutter, much like Andrew O'Connell. 40 seconds is come and gone for both of these competitors. They're now slipping back in points. Pacos looks like he is trying to drive, but he just doesn't have it there. Carlson's got to reach far. There it is. Wow, Pacos just one swing behind.
Only one hit, sub 1 minute time for both these competitors. Carlson shaking his head. That board sagged down. He was anxious to get that pocket in. He lost the power off his back leg. Pacos advantage with the board set, but he had lost time creating that pocket. Caught up, but it was not enough. Lost that heat to Carlson by 1 hit. We'll see what happens with the overall points.
Good job, gentlemen. Both cuts are good.
And great cut, so much sportsmanship among the rookie athletes. Pacos just said, hey, great job, Ben, after that heat. Tell us what was going through your mind. You were shaking your head looking at that board set.
Well, I thought the board was okay. I just shorted my front a little bit. That made a big difference in how fast I could get off in the back.
How difficult is it to keep your patience on that backside? There's always an illusion that you've cut more on the far side of the front than you get to the back, and it's just being stubborn. It's not coming off.
Always. Yeah. Always an illusion. It's never quite as quick as you think.
Stick with it. You had a great day, great cut, great single buck. Hope to see you in the pro ranks in the near future.
Thank you, and shout out to Will Chamberlain. I wish he was still here competing.
Absolutely.
Here's a look at Ben's first board set, his only board set. I got to get used to this one board rule here in the rookie division. And out of the gate, it looks great. But as he starts to work it, as he gets some weight back on it and starts applying pressure, that board sags. That just deflates your energy. It deflates your power. You're also, because your back foot is down, your total body height is down. And that puts you outside your power zone. Instead of being inside your torso area, you're now up around your chest. Your shoulders are elevated, and it just sets you up for a difficult cut all the way through. Here's a look at Ben in the backside of this log. Again, a switch hitting cutter, still not his more powerful side, but putting in a clean hit, or clean sets of hits up and down. You see those pairs of hits drawing chips. Pretty soon here he's going to reach across the far side and looking for those last fibers. Kind of gets a little low there, driving into the stump. There you see, picks it up at the last one, drives off into some fresh, clean air.
Official time now for Ben Carlson. There it is, 54.25, has him solidly in second place to Andrew O'Connell. Let's take a look at our overall standing. Still incomplete. We have not completed the springboard yet at this time, but you look at the strong position that Andrew O'Connell remains in, having the top time in this discipline, and of course earlier setting a U.S. rookie record earlier today. Great shopping performance by Andrew O'Connell. Tristan Van Beek on the way.
Final heat of the day, final springboard heat. Give it up for Tristan Van Beek. Tristan Van Beek competed here in Little Rock last year, 2021, And oh, by the way, he won the springboard last year here. Looking to repeat that accomplishment. 46 seconds by Andrew O'Connell, the time to beat.
Well, Tommy, as Tristan Van Beek comes out to the stage, it's worth pointing out that he breaks the mold of my prediction. He has been consistent. Unfortunately, it's been kind of mid-pack consistent, picking up 4 or 5 points in every single discipline. Worth pointing out, though, he is currently the rookie U.S. record holder in this one-board springboard, 45, 21, 22 in that range. So around a 45-second cut that he has posted. Pulls it off here, he's going to do a whole lot of good for himself if he can pick up 8 points in this discipline.
Yeah, Andrew O'Connell missed his second record of the day by about a second and a half.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Well, there's Tristan Van Beek opening up a 4-hit pocket. Remember I said that's kind of the target that everybody's going for. It may cost him a little bit because he's got some sag there. Notice how his chopping face is now up around his chest, up into his shoulders. On those downward blows, he's reaching way up over his head. He's not in a good power position. This is not going to be a record-setting time for him. 30 seconds has now elapsed, and he's going to be turning here in about 2 or 3 more hits. Oh, his block is cracking. This is going to be a tough go. Kind of holding my breath here a little bit. That block needs to hold together so he can cut it. There it is. He finishes it. Once again, though, 45-second cut. As rowdy as that thing got, he is still in that record-setting pace.
And head judge is going to look at that block saying, is it completely severed? From my vantage point, it is. But Tristan Van Beek, a future springboard cutter based on his calmness, absolutely so smooth, so calm, put a 4-hit pocket in just effortlessly. Will he get the time, though, to take down that 46-second leading time?
Nice job. Your cut was good.
Tristan, great cut in the springboard. You said crazy. That was insane. I think you could have cut it faster. What were you thinking about the board set?
Board set was fine. Happens all the time. Block sheared because I pinched off my front side. Block started falling off. Luckily, my screws held it there for long enough to put enough hits for it to fall off somehow, but...
You won the springboard here last year. You own the rookie record in the springboard. What do you attribute that consistency to?
Well, basically the person that was supposed to be in my heat, Will Chamberlain, is not here. He's always cutting his 4-hit pockets in competition, and I'm not, so that 4-hit pocket was for you, Will. So, Segi, you're not happy about that. Yeah, I mean, we put in a lot of time chopping springboards in the show at home, so just happy to come out and do it here.
You had a great day. Thanks for your time, Tristan.
Thank you, Dave. Appreciate it.
Well, Van Beek wraps it up in great fashion here.
Yeah, we'll go back and watch this again. You heard him mention in that interview, that 4-hit pocket. Just calm, cool, collected. Pounded the hits in, knew that he was in good shape. And here's a great look inside. There's that scoop. That was that 4th hit. Clears the chips out. There's a couple sitting on the bottom of that pocket that could have caused trouble, but he pounds that pocket, pounds the board right to the back of the pocket. There is a chip pinched under that. That's probably where some of that settling came from. Here you see that block fracture. He stays calm, cool, collected. The screws at the bottom held it together, and he sort of gingerly finishes this block. Look at the amount of energy that wiggling block is just absorbing out of that axe, taking power away from every single hit.
Great effort when he was 35 seconds into that. You wouldn't give him much chance of breaking his own record, but break his own record he did. A new U.S. Rookie U.S. Rookie national record here for Tristan Van Beek. He takes the springboard with a 44.98.
I get the feeling he took a little bit of exception to me pointing out the fact that he's been kind of consistent mid-pack every discipline, and he really turned up the wick. There is a huge win. That's going to do him a ton of good in terms of overall points.
Well, we'll do all the final tabulations here, check and double check all the math, and give you the final outcome and crown a champion. The Stihl Timbersports U.S. Rookie Championships in just moments right now. We'll be right back.
Duluth Trading Company was born from generations who showed us that the only way to live life is to live it hands-on.
To do it the hard way, to take the trail untrodden, to take the damn thing apart, put it back together, and have the world be better for it.
We don't think that the go all in, dig deep, and get your hands dirty spirit exists in everybody.
We know it does. Duluth Trading. Take on life with your own two hands.
Let's roll, let's go.
When we work in harmony, anything is possible.
Stihl, the name you love and trust, is at acehardware.com. From chainsaws to edgers, trimmers to blowers, Ace has the Stihl equipment you need. Just pick your power from gas to battery. Stihl has you covered at acehardware.com.
Less work time, more you time. Count on Stihl to take you there. Not sold at Lowe's or the Home Depot. Real Stihl. Find yours at over 10,000 local Stihl dealers.
Well, our competition is complete here at the Stihl Timbersports U.S. Rookie Championships right here. And Kevin Holtz, I think we've had more fireworks than we could have possibly asked for today. We have seen 4 record-breaking performances, just packed with great stuff all day long.
Yeah, Andrew O'Connell, his first event was his worst event. The stock saw he managed to muster 4 points out of it, but then he turned up the wick. A win in the standing block, a solid run, finished kind of mid-pack in the single buck. Underhand once again, got it turned back up. He put an axe in his hands and he's got it under control. I know that he had some time to shave off that underhand chop, but then once again in the springboard with that wild roundhouse swing, pulls off a second place, got a bunch more points there.
Well, he's going to be your champion, and to preside over our medal ceremony, we throw it back to Super Dave Jewett.
All right, we had 8 competitors that worked so hard to get here, representing the U.S. in the rookie division. Our top 3, let's bring them out. Taking 3rd place overall is Ben Carlson. And taking the silver medal, you just saw him in the springboard, breaking that record, Tristan Van Beek. And taking home the gold medal in the rookie division, breaking the standing block rookie record, Andrew O'Connell. These are your winners in the rookie division. Big round of applause one more time. Taking home the medal, Andrew O'Connell.
O'Connell, Van Beek, and Carlson, 1, 2, and 3 in our U.S. Rookie Championships. And look at the man in 4th place, Michael Pacos. Michael Pacos set 2 U.S. records during the course of it, and that's why you applaud those great performances, but still it is your skill as an all-arounder. Think of it as a decathlon more than one particular sport.
Yeah, it was fascinating watching these rookies compete today because their individual skill sets just sort of boiled to the surface in different disciplines. Andrew O'Connell, huge congratulations to the champion. I got to tip my hat, though, to Tristan Van Beek. Consistent throughout the day and then put an exclamation point on it in that springboard event. Got him in the silver medal position on that podium.
Well, we congratulate Carlson, Van Beek, and O'Connell, and in fact, all of our 8 athletes, great gamers who competed today in our Stihl Timbersports U.S. Championships.